Hey, good morning, guys. It's a beautiful morning here in Ashland, Wisconsin, Zone 4B, and I'm going to try and get some projects done before the heat comes. So we are supposed to have some temperatures in the 90s, which I know for a lot of the world is not that hot, but for us it is pretty hot. And so I have to get some work done here early. And actually, it's kind of late for me. As you guys know, if you see my tours, I'm usually out here at like 6 in the morning. But I had to run around and get some chores done today. So I got a little bit of caffeine in me and I'm feeling some energy. So I'm going to try and get through my plant stash today and get everything in the ground. And I also have a few plants that I want to move. Now, I'm not really super concerned about moving plants in this heat simply because it's only going to be 2 days and then we're going to drop back down into the 70s. So it's the weekend. I have the time. I have the energy. I'm going to get it done as best I can. I wanted to kind of bring you guys along so you can see me doing more than just a garden tour. Just clearance hostas from Walmart. This is all my gear for recording and for separating. I'm going to be separating some plants out. So this is like just a bread knife that I got in like a cheap knife set with the, like with the wood block. What is it? Oneida. I've had it for probably 4 years. It's not great for cutting bread or anything else really all that much. I mean, it doesn't make a bad steak knife, but I have other steak knives. So I saw on Impatient Gardener on her channel, she uses a bread knife, a longer bread knife than that, but a bread knife to do separating on her plants. And I just thought that was genius, rather than using my hori hori, which has the curve, or just trying to cut it with a shovel or something like that. So I've used it a few times now and it works like a charm. I love it. So she'll never see this, but thank you so much to the Impatient Gardener. Her channel is fantastic, and she's also in, I think she's Wisconsin or Michigan. I can't remember. I think it's Wisconsin, but she's in like a zone 5. So she's more south of than I am. But she's also on the lake. So her channel is really great for people who are growing in a, sort of like a coastal sort of feel, and a little bit cooler. Okay, so I have the Japanese painted ferns. So these are going to get separated. They're pretty well separate plants here anyway. So this side and then this side has these nice little fronds, and then this one is got sort of a natural separation right there as well. So I'm just going to come in, slice those up. A lot of what I'm planting are going to go here on the south side in the shadier side of the garden here. I have a little bit more hosta from Walmart. I've got these heucheras, these Better Home and Garden heuchera. These are from Walmart clearance. They are smoke and mirrors. Those are going to go back here too. They're so pretty with that silver and the dark veining and then the dark purple underside. I really love these. Probably going to separate these out too. This one has like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll probably just separate it into 2. We'll see. Maybe 3. Maybe 3. Same with this one. You can see the separation of the plants on these even better here. So that's nice. And then I have this, which is the Rainbow's End hosta that I am in love with. I love this plant so much. I need to find a really nice place for this one where it's showy to me and showy to everyone, because I think that's really just a hosta that I'm really feel lucky to have. And I love it so much. So that's the shade stuff. And then up here I have more sun things. So I have the sedums, This is the Sparkler Sapphire Tuffet Sun Sparkler, and this is the Nova Cherry Fizz. These are just going to be going maybe in the front, maybe along the north side here, maybe, I don't know yet. I really haven't made decisions about these, but I do want to get them in the ground today. And I'm more than likely going to separate this out into 3 pieces. Sedums grow really fast. They don't care a lot about getting divided. I love sedum. Then this one doesn't have any natural separation yet, so I may not separate it, but I'm sure by next year it will have natural separation. Then I'll be like, oh, I wish I separated that, because I'm gonna have to dig it up and separate it out anyways. Lots of times when plants are ready to be divided, they get like a natural split in the middle. We'll look at that on my Nepeta here in a little bit. We've had so much rain, it's been beautiful. So I got to get these little Shelly daisies in the ground. They are very wet in their pots, but you can see this one looks like it's dead, but it's not. It's got new growth coming. I just have to get them in the ground. This is the Paniculata clematis. This one is actually dry. Got to get that in. Obviously, I have to get all of these in. That's what we're doing. So this is the Japanese silvergrass. I'm going to split this into 2. Again, you can kind of see that it has a natural split right here. So I'll just cut that in half. And then I have all these daylilies. And with daylilies, I mean, you can really separate these out into individual scapes if you want to, and it's cuttable in that way. So, I mean, with all of these, I can at least get 2 plants. Some of these, like this is the Kansas Kitten, I could probably easily get 4, 5, maybe even 6 out of that, but I'm probably just going to cut it into 2. Like you can see this separation right here. That's probably where I will divide. Okay. So yeah, so I have some shade and some sun. I have more plans for the shade stuff than I do for the sun stuff. Oh, I got these at Walmart this morning. Look at this. So it's an 18-inch. Is that what it is? Yeah, 18-inch low wide bowl, and it's that resin, and I got 2 of them, $8 a piece. I was so happy. I mean, those will last a good long time. And you know, I bring these types of containers inside over the winter, although some of them I do leave out. Like I have 2 in the front that are that resin stuff that I got from Walmart that I leave out all year because they're too big, or they're just too big, and I'm not trying to empty them. But these will probably come in, and so they'll last me forever. And I'm so happy because they're just a really pretty container. Just sort of show how low that is. It's nice. So that was my exciting buy for this morning when I ran to Walmart to get some eggs. Okay, also I have some violas growing back here. I think these are like the historic mix. This is just some stuff that I started in the winter sowing, and these are foxglove. So they've just been stuck back there, and they're ready to get in the ground. And I have a few geraniums still that I haven't planted out yet from my own seed starting yet either this year. So just a hodgepodge of things. Like I said, the majority of what I'm going to be planting are going to be up this south side. I'm just really trying to fill this in. So I did get Cristata, the king, here in the ground. I ended up separating it into 2. So I have one here right in between my my 2 windows. These get 2 to 4 feet tall and wide, and they're pretty upright. So it should really make a nice piece right here. They seem fine. They've been in the ground for a couple of days now, and I didn't have any wilt or stress on them from the transplant or the cutting. And I mean, when I took these out of the pot, it was the most root bound plant I've ever seen. Like, there was no dirt at all. When I cut it in half, not a speck of dirt fell out. So here's the other half. So I think even though it was a pretty brutal cut, like, I really, no stress at all. And you can see even the little new fiddle heads and fronds coming up there. No stress. I think it was just really just happy to be in the ground. It would have let me do pretty much anything to it as long as I stuck it someplace its roots could stretch out afterwards. And it's gorgeous. Oh, I'm in love with this fern. Look at these little fringy pieces. Yeah. So again, that'll be 2 to 4 feet. So that'll be a real piece right there. And then I have the Woo-la-la there. And this is humpback whale in front of it. So as these things start to grow and get bigger, you know, they have gain their full size. Big hostas can take up to like 5 years to get to their full size. So like Woo-la-la is a pretty big hosta. And I know I've talked about this on videos before, maybe even in the last video that I just did, but this would be its 3rd year. So it could have been bigger this year, but last year it was the deer's favorite thing in my garden, and it got eaten down like 2 or 3 times. So it just never did anything last year, really. So this year I'm just happy that they've left it alone. I've been very diligent with keeping it sprayed. The trumpet vine, Lola, that's my neighbor. This is her plant, and it comes over my fence here, so I get a little borrowed beauty here from her. Starting to open it up, and it's gorgeous. I love the way this looks. Oh, the sun is pretty harsh right now, but it's so pretty. And that just drapes gorgeous in between her yard and my yard. It's a beautiful plant. I love it. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work, and I think I'm just going to put you guys on, like, I don't know, maybe a time lapse or something, and do, oh, okay, wait, hold on. Let me talk about one more thing here. This plant right here is not this plant. This is a thing that just keeps getting eaten. I think it's a phlox, but they keep eating it, so we may never know. This Russian sage right here, it doesn't like it here. I don't know if it's because it's just too wet with the clay or what, but I'm gonna dig this, and I want to get it planted out in my driveway where it's rocky and dry, and see if that makes a difference. And oh, the coneflowers are starting to open. They look gorgeous. These are huge. They're in the wrong spot. I don't even know if these are ones that I actually planted, because they just look like the purpurea ones, and I know I didn't start any of those. So they're gonna have to get dug. Obviously not this year. They're gonna be able to do their thing this year, but this is the other plant I have to deal with. So I actually have this tied up to keep it up off of all the other plants, because it's huge. I love it here in this corner. I'm probably not going to move it out of this corner, but it needs to get cut back, and it needs to get dug up and separated out. So you can't tell because I have it all clumped up here, but it is split down the center. When you let it lay, it splays out and there's just like a big bald spot in the center of it. So I need to dig it up, and I'm probably going to cut that into, I'm going to say probably 3 plants. So I'm hoping at least to get the south side done, the shade stuff done. So I'll set you guys up, maybe do a time lapse, and then we'll do a little walkthrough of everything that got done. Okay, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you how I'm going to go about dividing this. And this is how I'm going to go about dividing everything. So I'll just do this once for you guys. So you can see, first off, the roots are really nice on this plant. Walmart doesn't have plants for very long where I am, so you're not going to see like a lot of root bound or anything like that. And when you talk about a plant being root bound, when you talk about a plant being root bound, that really means that there's like no soil in there. And you can see there's a lot of medium in here. So this plant, even though you can see the roots, not root bound, okay? If this had nothing loose in it at all, I would say it was really badly root bound. But this is not. Okay, so again, I'm looking at this plant. I can see 3 very distinct stems, and they're not just like stems coming up off of a main plant. These are separated out like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna start at the top, and I'm just gonna cut here and cut around with my bread knife. And I'm gonna do the same on this side. This might even tear quite nicely, but we're gonna cut it so that we make sure that each piece gets root. Okay, although, and I will say something else, I have done heuchera and had it like dug heuchera up out of the ground and pulled it apart and put pieces that didn't have any root at all into the ground, and they grew roots and did just fine. So don't freak out or throw that part of your plant away if you do that and you're like, oh my god, I just killed this plant. You probably didn't. And if you stick it in the ground, or stick it in a pot, or stick it in some clean water, and change that water over every few days, every 3-4 days, and put it in a sunny window, it's gonna grow roots. So don't freak out. Plants are they have a very strong will to live. Okay, so regardless of what we do to them. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna come in here with my knife and saw away. Okay, so you can see a few things here. This one, just a little bit of root left there. Again, I'm not going to freak out about it. It's fine. It will continue to grow more roots. This one, oh my god, no roots, you guys. It's fine. This, I'm going to stick it in the ground. I'm not going to bring it indoors, but it will start to grow roots right out of this stem. No problem. It might lay down and look a little sad and not do much for the rest of the year, but it'll be just fine. All right. I mean, it wasn't, look at it. It wasn't going to be some big showstopper this year anyway. wanted to stop the time lapse really quick just to show you guys what I found. So I'm digging down here to get this hosta put in, and I thought it was like fabric, but these are maple leaves. You see, can you see that? And there's a whole bunch of it on the ground. It looked like a bunch of like mesh or something. How strange is that? If I can get, so you can see, it's like skeletonized, but in this like really lacy way. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just one little spot where things are breaking down like that. I don't see any bugs on it, or I didn't see anything when I was digging over there, so I don't know, but just wanted to share that with you guys. If anybody knows what could cause that, let me know. Okay guys, sorry about the shaky. I just got you in my hand here. Okay, so it is already starting to get hot out here. 10 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock actually. Whew, not used to it. My body is not used to it. Okay, but I have the south side done. Okay. Let's see what we did. So here's what the south side looked like before. And here it is after. So I ended up splitting the Rainbow's End hosta and putting it at the beginning of the walkway over here. So that meant I had to dig up this little heuchera here. And this little heuchera here is one that I actually cut last year that didn't have any roots at all. And I'm going to tell you, let this car pass. It didn't have much more leaves than this even when I stuck it in the ground. It maybe had like 3 or 4 leaves. And it came back this year. So it was not only rootless, it was tiny. And it made it through a Zone 4B Wisconsin winter and came back strong. It's beautiful. I love it. I also popped one of the dark heucheras in here, the smoke and mirrors. I think this is pistachio heuchera. It's a proven winners variety, I know that for sure. And then this other smoke and mirrors right there. Then I popped in one of the Japanese painted ferns. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You can see this is other parts of that heuchera that I dug up. That one had roots. This one did not have roots. This one did not have roots, and that little tiny one didn't have roots. Everybody came back. We had negative, in the 20s, negative degrees this winter. I just say, don't think you killed it. Don't throw it away. Stick it back in the ground and hope for the best. That's what I do. Okay, so, all right, so we got Japanese painted fern right there. We have this blue and with the dark edge hosta right here. That's a Walmart clearance. I split that one out, I believe, into 3. There's one right here. Here's one that's mature. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact. I know I got it from Walmart, same coloration. It's mature. That one I believe is 3 years old. So you can see it's really a beautiful plant. It's not too big. It's fine in the dry space. At Walmart, they just call them hosta. So there's no names on them for me to be able to, tell you guys what the variety is. But I would just say look for that if you like this. It's like a dustier, it has that sort of waxy, dusty coat that gives it that blue look with a lighter green and then the dark edging. It's a gorgeous hosta, and I can't kill it. Okay. Um, let's see here. Okay, so then I put the Rainbow's End here and here, and then I also have the maidenhair ferns here and here. So I don't typically do sort of like mimicking sides, or even like I don't usually do like 3 of the same plant or big groupings of the same plant or anything like that. My garden is very small. My whole lot is like, I think like a little over a tenth of an acre, and my house takes up a good part of that. So I don't have a huge garden. I'm not doing the Disney World mass planting look. I want to have plants that I love. I want to have plants that grow well here, and I want to have a full dense garden. So that's my goal when I'm working in here. But when I have something very special, I want it to be at the space where you're walking into some part of my garden. So that's why I kind of, did a little bit of a mimicking with some pretty special plants, at least plants that are special to me, with the maidenhair ferns and then the Rainbow's End hostas. So Rainbow's End gets about a foot tall and about 18 to 24 inches wide. It will fill these corners lovely once it's at its mature size. Love it. I put another one of the Japanese painted ferns back here. So from what I have never grown the Japanese painted fern before, but what I've read about them is they get better coloration in the dappled sun, but they can handle full sun. So that one will get more sun in the morning. This one will get almost none. But you can see what grows back here with almost no sun. It just won't have as much of that, sort of dusty and then purpley coloration, but we'll see how we like it. It's also a little bit dry here because there's a lot of roots. So I'll see how I like it, but I really wanted some more sort of ferny texture in there. So let's see, what else did we do? We'll keep on going. Oh, this is Fire Island hosta. I love this with the red stems and the chartreuse. It's a gorgeous pop. And that is Fire and Ice, which is very upright. I love that too. Okay, I didn't just plant those. Okay, let's stay focused, Sarah. Stay focused. Okay, so then I got this one here. This is also a Walmart hosta. You can see it has that white stripe. As it ages, it starts out with a darker center, with those sagey colors of green, and then that ages out to this white stripe with the dark edge. And I really like this too. I like the ones that are variegated and not just like, oh, they start the same and they end the same. This gives you that feeling of, oh, is it multiple plants? It has more interest when you're walking past. Oh, here's another one of those Walmart with the bluer shades. This hosta right here is just a plain little blue hosta, nothing overly special. It's quite small, so that is why I had it on the corner of the walkway originally. Ooh, sorry guys. But I wanted to put in the Rainbow's End because it's a little more special. So I dug this one up. I just popped it right here. More than likely, it's not going to stay here because it's small. And so I want it in a more edging the walkway or edge of the garden sort of space. I don't want it to kind of get lost in here, and it will. This is a Captain Kirk. This gets fairly large. And then I have an Astilbe here. This is just, again, another Walmart hosta. It's pretty plain, but it seems to be one of those wider than taller ones, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna get bigger. I think this is only its second year, so that's a pretty decent size. It's about 1.5 feet to 2 feet wide at this point of a plant. So just that probably won't stay there. I just needed a place to put it. Here's where I put the other piece of that bluish one. Oh, one more thing. Up here, I tucked in one of the clumps of foxglove here. So I started those foxglove in my winter sowing containers and then just never got them in the ground. So we have Japanese painted fern here. This is a dappled sunlight area. These maples, Lola has her grandson come and cut those every couple of years. So this stays mostly shady, but it does get dappled sun. The sun sort of moves down this area throughout the day. So this is the south side of the house. I know I've said that a few times. So in normal conditions, this would be a very sunny spot. But because we have these maple trees, I get to have this as a shade area. So this should get that nice color, and you can kind of see the color on this already with the dark stem, and then this one's better. It gets that dark stem all the way down each leaf, and then has a whiter center, and then that fades out into the darker greens. So these can be really, really pretty. Aside from just being a fern, which is already a gorgeous texture, they can have a really gorgeous color. So I kind of definitely want to get that here. Popped another foxglove in there. I put two, and I'm banking on these because they are from Walmart, and I don't know exactly what they are, except for that they age out with that whiter stripe. It's actually a little bit more creamy than the other one, and they seem lower. They're glossier. I'm hoping that these stay low and wide because I've got them right in front of cristata here. So like I said, cristata will get 2 to 4 tall and wide, but it's a very upright plant. So hopefully these will fill that space, and cristata will, you know, be a big, majestic, gorgeous piece right in the middle of the bed right there. And then I have the other foxglove on that side. And I have the other painted fern here. You can see the coloration on this one really well too. So again, this is a place where I have a few plants that I find to be very special with cristata and the Japanese painted. So I've made just a little bit of a design, or, you know, purposeful planting of multiple types of the same in this space for that reason. And then the last heuchera, again, I'm going to say I really don't usually do like 3 in one place, but this just felt right here between the Sum and Substance and the water slide hostas to have sort of a big clump here. And this actually does get a lot sunnier than the rest of this bed does, because it's right at the end and the sun comes through here pretty heavy, even with the apple tree as it's starting to set in the west. So this does get more sun, and Sum and Substance does really, really well in that amount of sun. It's a gorgeous hosta, and I love it. Love it. So that will get huge as well. And then here will not be a whole bunch of extra wood that I have left over from my deck, but it will be the paniculata clematis. Okay, oh gosh, oh my goodness. The things I put pictures of myself on TV, you would say, if you were taking a picture of me, I'd be like, oh my God, make sure you get my best side and all that crap. I take videos of myself looking like I've been through it on here. So anyways, that's the south side. That's all the shade plants are now in the ground. Stuff that I need to get planted out, and it's not too bad. And that'll be the next video. Well, I'll probably do a tour tomorrow because we've got really gorgeous out here right now. I could do, oh gosh, I could come through and do a tour right now, but I'll do it tomorrow morning because I'm going to do a feed tonight and get everything all prettied up and maybe do some cutbacks. But so I'll do a tour in the morning, but then I'll probably do up the rest tomorrow, and I'll make a video of that too. Whew. Okay, it is hot already. I am going in, and oh, I still gotta mow. I'm gonna mow and then I'm going in. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a great weekend and you're staying cool. Bye.